I'm cutting my hair again and I'm gonna dye it. It's time for the red to go, unfortunately. I love having red hair, but I'm sick of the upkeep and I want my hair to get healthier. I haven't touched my roots up in a while, as you can see. I am gonna dye it back to brown, my natural hair color. I might do a little bit darker than my natural hair color, but within the realm of brown. I'm gonna cut it first today. I don't really have a plan. I just know I want it to be shorter. So let's start cutting. The haircut I really want is a pixie. It's like a cross between a pixie and a bob. It's like the haircut that was popular in the 90s that Winona Ryder had. I'm sure it wasn't called that at the time, but I don't think I can do that on myself. And also, I kind of got that haircut a few years ago and I absolutely hated it, except when I styled it in a really specific way and wore like a specific type of makeup. That was, I think, the only time I've cried after a haircut. It was really overly dramatic for sure, but still. But anyway, I don't think it was exactly the right cut, and I feel like if I went to someone else and I brought better reference photos, it would probably be okay. But as I mentioned in my other video, hair salons aren't really for me. Mostly because it costs like $150 to get a haircut where I live. Let me get back to doing this. It's really hard for me to talk while I do something. I'm just bringing the hair to the back and tying it up into 2 pigtails. And I also tied up these little front parts because I don't want to cut those, because I want to leave those as long as possible because I want them to grow out. Oh, my leg's falling asleep. Also, it's so hot in here. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I can't have the air on because it makes too much noise. Okay, so they're both tied, and then I'm going to put another hair tie in each section a little bit farther down from where the first tie is, and that'll be my guide to cut it. I just watched someone's video of them cutting their own hair, and this is what they did, so I'm gonna just copy it. I forgot if I mentioned I'm bringing them to the back because I want the front to be longer than the back, so by over directing it to the back, hopefully the back will be the shortest section. I think those look fairly even. Ooh, it's a weird angle for me. That is a lot of hair. I don't know, maybe I'll make it a little bit longer to start off and then see if I want to make it shorter. Oh, you know what? I should cut above the rubber band so that it all stays together and it's less messy. So I'll bring them down a little bit farther and then cut above. Okay, there's one. I hate when you can see how uneven it is from the top of it. This one is easier to cut at least. Alright, got my 2 little pigtails. So excited to have short hair again. Especially while it's still 90 degrees. Let's see if it worked. Is it shorter in the back? I don't think it is. I think it's longer. Did that person lie to me? Did I do it wrong? It seems longer in the back. Let me get a mirror and check. Oh my god. That's crazy. Alright. Let's try this again. I'm gonna die in here. It's so hot. Let me open a window, actually. Okay, window's open. Sorry if that makes it louder. Maybe I should look in the mirror as I cut this? No, that just seems really hard to do though. I mean, like, look in the mirror behind me. Like, look at the back of my head. You know what I mean. I just didn't cut it properly. I don't think the person lied to me. Cut this. I'll let that go and then just cut it free-handed. Is that the right word for that? Maybe I should point cut so it's less harsh. And then does it really matter if it's not even? My best friend is coming over later, so she can always help me with it if it turns out horribly. Oof, getting itchy from the hair. Can you hear the guy talking outside? Should I close the window? Okay, I'm gonna take these out. Oh! I'm gonna close the window again. Alright, let's see how it looks from the back again. Oh, okay. It's definitely better than before. There's a little tail. I can just cut that. Okay, so it still needs to be shorter in the back. I mean, it's just like really, really uneven. Let me just cut it a little bit. But yeah, I think Audra will have to fix this. Alright, I think I'll stop for now and then have Audra fix it and probably come back tomorrow to cut some layers into it and just try and make it look better. I mean, I don't think it looks that bad right now, even as is. Well, it looks kind of crazy in the back, but besides that, I'm happy with the length. I am just happy to have short hair again because it is so much easier to deal with than long hair. I love not having hair on the back of my neck. It feels so much better. But yeah, I will see you potentially later tonight after it's been fixed a little bit, and then definitely tomorrow when I fix it even more, hopefully. So yeah. It's the next day. Audra fixed up the back of my hair yesterday, so hopefully that is even. I guess I'll check. I checked it yesterday, but you never know. Things could have changed. Oh, it's not really even, is it? Huh. Okay, so I'll need to cut this for sure. I'll probably fix that up off camera because I think it'll be easier to do if I'm just focusing on that. I'm going to fix the front of my hair, which is just like slightly off. There's this piece that's way longer that isn't really part of the front section that I wanted to keep long, so I'm gonna cut that. And then I'm still gonna leave this longer because, again, I want it to grow out, so I just can't really touch that part. So it'll look kind of weird now because it looks unintentional because it's only a little bit longer than the rest. Okay, I was gonna cut layers into it, but now I'm not really sure. I guess I can like just maybe do the front a little bit. Layers confuse me. I hope I don't mess anything up. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here. It's not great, but I think it's okay. And then I'm still gonna even out the back. So I guess I'll do that now off camera. and then show you. I think it'll look a lot better once it's styled, but I'll do that at the very end, like after I dye my hair and everything, to show you like the like finished final reveal or whatever. This was mainly just a cut to just like start over fresh, so I'll be able to do that. But yeah, let me just cut the back and then show you after. Okay, I think I fixed it up in the back. I will show you. I'm so nervous. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people cut the back of their hair, because I tried and it's impossible. So that was the best I could do. I'm fine with it. It's, you know, it's whatever. Again, like I said, it'll look better when it's styled, but for now it's fine. I'm just happy to have short hair again. Feels so much better, except I have hairs all over my back right now and in my eyes and just all over the floor. And I just cut my partner's hair, so there's so much hair everywhere. But for now, I'm done. I'm going to wait a few days. I need to buy the hair dye and the color remover, and then I'll come back and show that process. I just needed to have my red hair for a little bit longer because I'm doing one Halloween costume that I need red hair for. If you can guess what it is, let me know in the comments. I will see you in a few days. It's time to dye my hair. So I went to Sally's a couple days ago, and first of all, let me just tell you, I had the worst time, not at Sally's, but walking back. I was harassed by two separate men, one on a bike next to me and then one in his car, and the one in his car said the most vile thing that anyone has ever shouted at me on the street, or just said to me, period. So that sucked, but now I'm gonna dye my hair. Anyway, I got the hair dye. I got the Ion Demi-Permanent hair color in dark warm brown. I wanted to get a darker color, or like not a warm tone color, because my hair's already red. So I wanted to get something more neutral, but this was all I had. The only other option was blue black. I love black hair. I wish that it looked good on me, but I just don't think it really suits me that much. I think I do need like some amount of warmth in my hair. I also got the 10 volume developer. I almost didn't get this because I didn't realize that I needed it with the demi-permanent color, because I've never used demi-permanent hair color, only semi and permanent. But luckily the Sally's employee let me know, and so I got that. I also got 2 boxes of the hair dye just in case. I don't think that I'll need it because I do not have that much hair now, but they were having a sale. It was buy one get one half off, so I thought why not? And it'll just be good to have on hand. Let me just put on gloves and read the instructions. Okay, it says to do either a 1:1 ratio or 1:2. I think I'm gonna do 1:1, and I'm gonna leave it on for 30 minutes. First things first, I'm gonna put some Vaseline on the perimeter of my face. I normally don't care about my neck, but since I have short hair now, I guess I'll put some on my neck too. And my ears. Alright, so I'm gonna mix it up now. I have a scale in front of me so I can make sure it is 1:1. Okay, so this should be even if my scale works. It ended up being 1.8 ounces of both. Doesn't smell too bad. It has a scent, but not like super strong. I guess because it doesn't have ammonia in it. I'm just gonna quickly brush through my hair, make sure that there's no knots or anything. You know what? I'm gonna put this over my neck just to catch any dye. I mean, I don't care about the shirt that I'm wearing, but still, this will make cleanup easier. Okay, I'll just clip that. Nice. I don't think I have to be too precise with this. I'm just gonna do my whole head. Just want to make sure that I get it over everything. I did try to remove as much of the excess red dye as I could. Obviously it's still very red. I didn't use a color remover, just like washed my hair a few times. I initially was going to use a color remover, but then I saw videos of people saying that if you have red hair, you can just dye over it with brown, like as long as you're going for a darker color than what you have. And I know that there will still be red underneath the brown, but I'm okay with that. I'm just making sure to get the perimeter of my hair first. I'll have to take off my glasses at the end and just make sure I get everywhere that's underneath my glasses. I did not do a patch test. I know you're supposed to, but I never do. One day I will experience the consequences of that, but hopefully not today. I will miss my bright red hair, but I am kind of excited to not have to think about my hair clashing with my outfits, because I really haven't worn red since I've dyed my hair red, because I just think it looks kind of weird when it doesn't match exactly, or even when it does. I don't know, it just doesn't look right to me. My partner got a perfume yesterday and it came with a little sample, and so I sprayed it on myself and it smelled so terrible. Like one of the worst perfumes I've ever smelled in my life, and it lingered. I can still smell it. It's not as offensively strong as it was when I sprayed it, obviously, but it still smells just like gross. It's from Imaginary Authors, who I love. They have a lot of really good perfumes, but this one is not for me. It's called Untamable, and on the website it's described as animalic and vintage. And I feel like those two descriptors perfectly encapsulate what this perfume smells like. Immediately upon spraying it, it smelled really familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It definitely evokes strong feelings, negative feelings for me, but still, it was interesting to smell at least. Sorry to anyone who likes that scent. To each their own, you know. But yeah, I've liked most of the scents that I've smelled from that brand. This has just been like the worst by far. I think I know now that I can stay away from any perfume that is described as animalic. That is not for me. I don't want to smell like an animal. I'm just trying to make sure that I get it on all of my roots, but I'm not doing it in any sort of precise way, just feeling around. I think I've pretty much covered my roots. I'm just gonna start doing the ends, or the mid-length to ends of my hair, and then I'll just use my hands to make sure I'm not missing anything. Now I'm just gonna get it on my hands and just massage it into my hair. I hope I'm not getting it on the ground. I think I'm good. Okay, I think I got everything saturated. I'm just gonna check the back with a mirror to make sure. Okay, everything looks good. I do have a feeling this is just gonna end up auburn, which is okay. I like auburn hair, and that'll still work well with me growing out my natural hair. All right, I'm just gonna put my hair up, like smush it against the top of my head, and take off the gloves so that I can put on this trash bag. Oh, you know what? I forgot the side pieces. Let's just hope that I'm getting all of them. Okay, I'm sure there was a better way of doing this, but I think this is fine. This is mostly to make sure that I don't get dye on anything, and also to use my body heat to hopefully help develop the color faster or better, I don't know. But now I will just let this sit for 30 minutes and then I'll rinse out my hair and wash it and then come back to you once it's dry, probably. So I'll see you in a bit. It's dark brown. Well, okay, it looks terrible right now. I'm gonna style it in a second. In dim lighting, it's dark brown, almost black even, but when there's any sort of light, you can see that it's still red, just way darker, kind of like a plum color. And it's fine, it's what I was expecting. The one thing that's really throwing me off is that my eyebrows are so much lighter than my hair now, so I'm gonna dye them. So I have this Garnier hair dye that I only use on my eyebrows. It's in the shade Sweet Cola, which is darkest brown. And anytime I want to dye my eyebrows, I'll just mix up a tiny amount of it. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So first I'm gonna wipe my eyebrows with rubbing alcohol to make sure they're clean and remove any skincare products or oil. Then I'm gonna put Vaseline around my eyebrows so that the dye doesn't stain my skin. And then I'm gonna mix up an even amount of the dye and developer. I'm just doing it by eye. And then use a Q-tip to apply the dye, making sure the hair is fully saturated. Okay, dye's on. I'm just gonna wait like 5 minutes or so. Not very long. It's been 5 minutes. They look crazy. Let me take off the dye. I'm just gonna get most of it off first by just using a dry wad of toilet paper. And then I'm just gonna wet some more toilet paper with a toner. Just hopefully get more of it off. All right, let's see how they look. They usually look better any day after the first day. They're still a little bit harsh because the dye is still on my skin, like underneath the eyebrow hairs. But I think it'll look fine once I have makeup on and style my hair. I'm gonna do my hair first and then my makeup. I'm not gonna talk through any of it because I need to turn the air on so you wouldn't be able to hear anyway. And I just don't want to make the video too long. This is the finished look. I just wanted to do a look with purple because I'm liking it more and more, and also I just tend to forget about it. So I thought I would do something different to what I normally do since I've been doing so many red looks while I've had red hair. And also I feel like I do a lot of blue as well. I need to do more purple and green for sure. And I also wanted it to be kind of dramatic to match my hair. The hair's not perfect. I'm not that good at doing the like flippy thing with the straighteners. I think I just need to watch a video on it. I also need to come up with some fun ways to style my hair as well. I'm gonna start filming some Halloween and fall related videos, which I'm really excited about. So if you want to see those, please subscribe. If you have any requests for Halloween makeup, let me know in the comments. No promises that I'll do them, but if there's an idea that I also like and is feasible for me, then I will do it. Probably just on TikTok, because I think I can only really do like a couple full-length YouTube tutorials for Halloween looks, and I already know what I'm doing for those. But yeah, that's all. I'll see you next time.